Okay, come on, let's clap. We are live. Like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with the Queen, Senny J. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right on this glorious Monday. It is Monday, September the 11th, 2023, 47 minutes after the hour. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team. We are in the building. That chat room is wide open. Or if you would love to call in, the numbers 570-982-6950. This is where you get that morning smoke. This is where you get your morning love. But most importantly, it's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Cindy J, good morning. God bless you. Good to see you this morning. And how are you, young lady?
Good morning, Sean. I'm doing great. Happy Monday. Good morning to everybody listening. We have an amazing show for you today on this Motivational Monday. We're going to get started with Senny Says, where I will let you know everything that's been going on in Hollywood and entertainment news. We're also going to have Front Page News with Senny J, where I will let you know what is happening locally, nationally, and globally. So you want to make sure you stick around for that.
Of course, you want to stick around for that on this beautiful late summer day here in the northeast part of the country, broadcasting here from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And we truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. And before we get into the show, Cindy J, and I want to thank everybody for your tremendous support throughout the last couple of weeks with the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up People. And excuse us for starting late this morning. I truly apologize. That was my fault. Real quick, Cindy, how was your weekend before we get into the madness?
My weekend was good. It was really chill. I didn't do too much. And yeah, I have nothing to report this weekend. Played it very low key. It's actually my son's birthday is actually coming up this week. So there's going to be a lot going on this weekend coming up, but not too much last weekend.
But well, happy birthday coming up to the green gray eye bandit. Uh CJ, I had a relaxing weekend myself. For the first time in a long time, I had no shows this weekend. And
Wow.
Other than Thursday night over at the Comedy Hall, and thanks again for folks coming out. But it was a good thing. I relaxed, caught up with a lot of things I needed to do because I'm booked for the next all the way into next March with comedy show. So
Oh.
I'm just truly
Yeah,
grateful.
so I'm expecting to be updated where the shows are going to be, what city. I don't want to find out the next day about your amazing show.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good. So, guys, welcome to the show. Please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team on all media. Please. And all right, let's get to work right now. Let's get those hearts in the chat room. We want to see those hearts. I want to see the love in the chat room right now on a motivational Monday. I need to see that love. Now, well, we're going to start off the show real quick, guys. It is uh, September the 11th, 9/11. Uh, which happened, the terror attack on the United States and also in New York City 22 years ago today. Boy, time flies. Uh, and it seems like every year on this show, we always honor our beloved heroes and the victims of 9/11. And guys, you could put your experiences of 9/11 in the chat room, or if you want to call in 570-982-6950, and let us know what was going on in your life that day, 9/11, how it impacted your life, because 9/11 was one of those uh, markers in history that I believe that uh, it's one of those events where you remember where you were, you remember exactly what you was doing when you heard the news of what happened on 9/11. And our condolences go out to the victims of 9/11. I've known many of them. And I just want to share my story real quick, CJ. And please, call in and if you would like to share your 9/11 experience before we get into the madness, please, you can call in 570-982-6950. Kathy Garrison, I see you in the chat room. My good friend Derek Lawson, what's up, player? Good to see you this morning as well. And God bless each and every one of you guys and your family. Senny, back then I was, as y'all all know, I was driving a van as a courier. I was an independent contractor for this messenger service, and we had this special account called Iron Mountain, Senny J. And I had my own particular route each and every morning. Uh, yeah, a DBL courier. That's right. We always talk about that on the show, Derek, and I'll get into that in a minute. And Senny J, I was driving my van. I had this particular route each and every day on the east side of Manhattan, in the Grand Central area. Mm-hmm. And this on 9/11, I was just doing what I usually do, making my pick. I left. We were based in New Jersey, in Monaco, New Jersey, by Giant Stadium. And I came into the city at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning each and every morning. I was doing my work and just doing it. It was a beautiful morning that day. Please, guys, call in if you want to share your quick 9/11 stories if you want. And Senny was about, after 8 o'clock, obviously. And my mother called me. Mama Harvey called me, CJ.
Mama Harvey.
Mama Harvey called me. Because, I speak to my mother 5 times a day. And God bless that woman. Y'all give a shout out to Mama Harvey, who listens to the show every morning.
Morning, Mama Harvey.
Senny, Mama Harvey called me and she says, I'm driving down southbound to Lexington trying to get to 44th Street to get a parking space so I could go into 425 Park Avenue to make my delivery on the second floor. And Mama Harvey called me and she said, Shawn, an airplane hit the World Trade Center. Right?
Yeah.
Senny, I discarded my mother immediately and said, Mom, not now. I don't have the time. I'll call you in a minute. I gotta find park, and I hung up the phone respectively.
Right.
I go up to the second floor at 425 Lexington in the computer room with CIBC, was the Canadian International Bank of America, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Used to go there every day, Senny J. I go up to the second floor because I have to use the freight entrance, right?
Right.
Senny, I go into the computer room. It's about maybe 8 to 7 of the tech guys that worked in the computer. They were all huddled around the television. So I go, yo, what's going on? So the dude said, yo, plane hit the World Trade Center. I replied immediately that my mother was just talking about that. Right, CJ?
Yeah.
And I looked at the television in the computer room at 425 Lexington, Canadian National Bank, CJ. And as I looked on the TV monitor in the computer room, Senny J, the second plane hit the building.
Crazy.
The second plane hit the building. I'm watching it on television. I immediately had to do sign for the delivery. I come outside, Senny J, everybody's crying. Everybody's crying. I come outside. Everybody's crying. I get in the van. I go over to 41st Street and Madison Avenue. Senny J, I get out the van. Everybody in the street is crying. I walk to 5th Avenue and 40th Street, and I see the building burning, both of them burning, Senny J. On fire was a sight that's embedded in my mind forever. So I called the dispatcher, right? So, we had a dispatcher. Shout out to all the dispatchers out there. Are they still dispatchers out there, or is AI running things now at the moment? Good. Put a number 1 if you know an old school dispatcher. I'm talking about a cab dispatcher, a bike messenger dispatcher, a truck dispatcher, a traffic control dispatcher. Shout out to all the dispatchers out there. I hope AI don't take your job in the next 2 years. Senny, I called the dispatcher, right? Guess what he tells me on 9/11 at about, I don't know, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock. Guess what he tells me, CJ? He says, stand by, don't go nowhere, don't move until we give you further instructions. Senny, I thought I was going to die because I thought that the Russians invaded America and there was a war. That's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like a country attacked the United States. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
This neighbor gonna sit there and tell me to stay put and don't move. You know what I thought, CJ? I said, I'm gonna die today. And I'm not gonna die in Manhattan. waiting for stupid instructions from a stupid dispatcher.
Waiting to stand by.
Yeah, Steph, is this Donald Trump? Is this the Proud Boys? Are you crazy?
You were like, yeah, no, bye.
So I had a helper at the time. The helper just get off the train. He doesn't even know what's going on. He said, yo, what's up? Why everybody crying? This is what's going on. I said, yo, get back. I'm going to pay you for the day. Get in the car. We get in the van. We driving back to the Bronx. We're out of here.
Now you took the company car to the Bronx.
Yeah. Well, the backup, it wasn't a company car. Remember, I was an independent contractor. It was my own vehicle.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't be disrespectful.
Let me rewind that.
Yeah, rewind that. We don't do company vehicles. I am the company. I've always been the company for the last 20-something years. I am the money. I'm the money.
Just leave it there. Just leave it there, sir.
Senny, we was going up, and then I'm going to yield my time. Senny, we was going up north to up 3rd Avenue because I had a funny feeling they was going to shut the city down. Something was going on, right? Mm-hmm. Senny, we get to 57th Street and 3rd Avenue going north to the Bronx. Senny, everybody was running out the bank. There was a particular bank on the corner, and the young kid that was with me, he looked over at the bank and he go, yo, we should go in there, man, get some money. But the way he said it, I knew it was like, the way he said it, I was like, get out of here. But then I looked, I go, wait a minute. This is the perfect time for the stick 'em ups.
What?
But Senny, we never did it.
We're about to be at war.
Right, we're about to be at war. So that didn't happen, obviously. And Senny got back to the Bronx, New York, and just waited to, I didn't know what was going to happen. I called my baby mother at the time. I said, yo, get the kids out of school, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that was my 9/11 experience in the moment. Senny, real quick before we move on. Oh, and one more thing about 9/11. As far as it, it affected me. I know so many people that passed away. And like I said, may everyone rest in peace. With 9/11, I said this because, Senny, the company that I was working for, this Iron Mountain company, mm-hmm. we had just moved out of 5 World Trade, CJ, July the 31st. I was in the World Trade Center every day, Senny, for 10 years. We moved out. We were bitching about moving out of the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
And because we moved over to Jersey, Monaco by Giant Stadium, like I was saying. We left there July the 31st, 2001, and the buildings fell on July the 11th.
Wow.
All the people that was on the concourse level and all the people in the office building that we knew, they all passed away, CJ.
That's crazy.
See, there was this one particular security guard, right? Mm-hmm. We used to have our vans parked in the loading area in 5 World Trade, right? Which connected to 1 and 2 World Trade. And this security guard, Senny J, he had one of those carts, one of those golf cart kind of security cart, those little carts they drive in. Mm-hmm. Senny, don't you know he used to give us tickets all the time and report us for parking, double parking, and he was such a pain in the ass, Senny J.
Yeah.
Throughout the years. Senny, don't you know he passed away in 9/11?
He did.
And all of us drivers was like, eh.
Oh, that's not funny.
Senny, us drivers was like, eh. They could have said everybody else. They could have took him.
I'm not going to laugh at that.
And Senny, we saw his face in the newspaper. We were like, that's the guy that, if he wasn't too busy giving out them tickets on it, he might have survived this whole situation. Share your 9/11. Senny, he gave me $200 to $300 worth of parking tickets 25 years ago. You know how much money that is equivalent to today's prices?
I have nothing to say on that. Anyways. My 9/11 story, I mean, it's very because I was still in school. So I was 14 at the time. And well, wait. Yeah,
14.
I was probably 13. 13 turning 14. Yeah.
Let's move on, bro. They gave you a lollipop and told you to take a nap. Get out of here.
In 2001, yeah, I was probably 14. And I remember being in school and like I was actually in a free period, and my teacher who was there, not my teacher, but I guess like the supervisor or whatever, was actually somebody that we were real close to, and she was crying. And so I went over to her and I was like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything all right?" And she was telling me to call my mom, to call my dad, because she knew my mom, her husband and my mom. That's like how they got to know each other, because they actually rode the bus together. And her husband worked at the World Trade Center. And so like when everything was happening, she was really upset. I called my dad, so everybody was just kind of like coming to pick up their kids and everything. And I remember just me and my sisters just being scared, because we hadn't heard from my mom. We didn't know like what was going on. And my dad was watching it. I think my dad still has it. He recorded it on VHS at the time. I wonder if he still has those, like what they look like. But we don't even have anything to watch it on. But yeah, so I remember that. And then I remember when we heard from my mom, I was just so thankful. And yeah, but that was just a really sad time. But I also remember how, like, when it happened, everybody was so, pro America, and that solidarity. And it's kind of just, it was weird because after it happened, it was kind of like, okay, what now? I remember that feeling of what now, like every day thinking that something else was going to happen for like a little while. So it was kind
Yeah,
of weird. So real sad.
yeah. I think we all, regardless of how old we were, we all kind of felt that like what's gonna happen next. And by the way, Cindy, remember I told you I didn't stand by and I took the work back. I took the work to the Bronx. And I don't know if people who knew that was there, they shut New York City down. You couldn't come in and out of Manhattan. I don't know, for maybe a week or two. Like they just shut everything down. And the George Washington Bridge was closed. It was just weird. Like all these main arteries and all these highways that you think that would never close, everything was closed out here. And it took another 4 or 5, well, maybe 2 or 3 days for me to get back to the base to give them back their work. And what's weird about that bit? Obviously, the loss of life was horrific for 9/11, of course. And one of the drivers that worked with us, Senny, this dude, his route, his driver's route was in the World Trade Center. So
Wow.
he would leave New Jersey, go to the World Trade Center, park his van where we used to park our van, where the guy was giving tickets all the time, and he would work the building. He didn't drive anywhere. All his deliveries were in 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5 World Trade Center.
Wow.
And obviously, when they knocked the buildings down, there was no more work. So it take a lot. A lot of folks lost life, lost jobs, uh, and we just want to give our condolences to folks for the 9/11 and honor them. So please share in the chat room, your experiences with 9/11 today. All right, Cindy, let's move on. Uh, put the hearts in the chat room. God bless you. Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team with the Queen, Cindy J, this morning. Also the Queen, Miss Miko. Only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Let's put the hearts in the chat room. You see, I got my jet hat on. We'll talk about football later on in the show. We're about this, we're about to, it's football season, but we'll get into that in a minute. So we definitely appreciate you guys and thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead, Cindy, what you got?
Okay. Yes, Sean, what do I have? Well, the first thing that I want to talk about that was kind of not sitting well with me is regarding um Danny Masterson. He is the guy from that 70s show with the red hair. He had the curly red hair was like the most chill character on the show. He was recently, um, and I think I remember talking about this when he first was accused of it, but he was accused of raping women like about like 10 years ago, something like that. And he was just recently sentenced. And Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, who were his co-hosts on that show, most notably, they they wrote letters of, I don't even know what, letters of support for him after he was convicted of raping women, and they've come under fire for it. So I'll get into the story. Um, Danny Masterson, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. It's been revealed that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote letters of support. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis' letter of support first emerged on Twitter through Nisha Trout, saying one of the victims who he was convicted on. Oh, I'm sorry. Nisha Trout is one of the victims who he was convicted of raping. Hours after Danny Masterson was sentenced, she tweeted that Kutcher and Kunis had submitted letters to the judge asking for leniency. Megan Cuniff um, then provided confirmation by sharing copies of the letters on legal affairs and trials with Megan Cuniff. Within Kutcher's statement, he called Masterson nothing but a positive influence before declaring, over our 20-year relationship, I don't ever recall him lying to me. He went on to say that Danny set an extraordinary standard around how you treat other people before sharing examples, including after 9/11, Danny was a huge advocate for support of the firefighters affected by the event. He also said that separating Danny Masterson from his 9-year-old child would be a tertiary injustice in and of itself. As for Mila Kunis, she called Danny Masterson an amazing friend with a caring nature while advocating for his character. She also referenced his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of drugs. Upon sharing that Masterson was an exceptional older brother figure, Mila stated, I wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Masterson's exceptional character. It was also noted in Megan Cuniff's program that the '70s show actor who star as Red and Kitty Foreman, respectively, also penned letters of support. I believe those were the parents of the show. They also penned letters of support for Masterson. All in all, 50 people are reported to have written letters of support. Um, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. The ruling came after just 3 months after he was convicted of raping two women in the early 2000s. During his sentencing, the women he was convicted of raping unleashed on him, and one stated the world is better off without you, is better off with you in prison. And Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis basically put out a statement over the weekend saying that, they were just writing letters of support and they didn't mean for any of this to be leaked out. I mean, so what are you really apologizing for? You're apologizing that it got leaked or that you actually wrote it in support? But I mean, to be like a devil's advocate, I kind of understand. I mean, somebody's being, you're, somebody's being, somebody, you don't know that side of them. So I get that. But when you know better, like, if you want to give him support, like as far as like being a friend, but like writing a letter of support that's going to be documented, I don't think that's a good idea. And nobody believes you anyway. You're two actors giving an apology. Uh, so you're two actors filming an apology. Something about that just doesn't seem right with me.
Uh, Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. We truly appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in, and thank you so much. And I want to put you guys to work on the Motivational Monday. I want to see the hearts back in the chat room again. Please say good morning to each other, man. Like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. We are so grateful that we are here with you guys this morning. So thank you. And please like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. and God bless. There's nothing wrong with what these folks did. I mean, listen. Unfortunately, these letters, got leaked out to the public. But that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to write a letter to give it to the judges, or did they do it through video, or they wrote on piece of paper?
They each wrote a letter. They didn't
Okay,
have to do that.
so they did. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing
Why did
wrong with. It's nothing wrong. Listen, the guy's convicted of rape. He's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. I mean, you answered your own question. There's probably a side of him that, uh, that they didn't know. They knew a side of him that was a kind, genuine young man. They didn't know the devilish part of him. They didn't know that part of him. If they did, I don't think they would be. They would testify in his favor. This is a guy who raped two women 20 years ago, and now it's time to pay the price. Boy, what did he do to these women? I'm not saying that there's any kind of degree of rape. Rape is rape, no question about it. But boy, he must have did something brutally assaulting these women sexually for him to get this amount of time for raping these two women. And listen, he gets what he deserved if he is proven in court that he did these rapes, and he has to go away for the rest of his life. For social media and the rest of the world to come under Ashton Kutcher, and what's the other young lady's name again?
Mila Kunis?
Mina Coolidge?
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Whatever. Leave them alone, man. They just writing letters for support to their friend. I mean,
No, they
let's
should
go,
know
let's go,
better. And they
let's go. Let's don't read too far into this, man. I
what?
mean, the
First
guy,
of
he's
all,
already been
first of all,
convicted of rape. He's
they
already
were what
convicted.
they were one of the first couples to come out and be verbally aggressive about their distaste for Will Smith after he did what he did and all this other stuff. But you over here writing two letters of support for a rapist? Like,
You
come
don't.
on.
You still don't
I
get what I'm saying. Are you
Like,
listening to
where's
what
your
I'm saying?
moral compass?
Oh my
Like,
God,
calm
Senny.
down. They didn't have to write those letters. You could have distanced yourself from the situation, just like you wanted to
Maybe,
distance
maybe they,
yourself from Will Smith.
maybe
Distance
they did.
yourself from Danny Masterson. You about that. And that's why videos are coming up, resurfacing about Ashton Kutcher talking about Hillary Duff and Mila Kunis, because he's older than her, when they were just 15 years old, talking about, oh, we're waiting for this one to turn 18. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all all out there being little predators. Okay. So you probably had an inkling. You knew Danny was out there doing some foul stuff or that he was capable of it. And then you're going to write letters of support. Where's your support team? Who told you that'd be a good idea?
Senny, the man is doing 30 something. He's spending the rest of his life
Yeah,
in
but
jail.
they didn't know that.
Okay.
Good thing that judge had their wits about them and handed down the appropriate sentence. But you're over here writing letters to say be lenient on him. Give him
That's what
5 years.
City, that's what people do. How many times there's people that's convicted of murder and convicted of double murder and convicted of all
Okay.
these
So
felonies,
how would you like to know?
and they family members get up there knowing that these people are wrong, dead ass wrong. They're gonna spend their life in jail, and they ask for leniency. People do that. All family members do that all the time.
So how would Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis feel being connected to a rapist if they let go early? How would that go over? Would
I,
that
un-
be
it,
good publicity for them?
it wouldn't
Oh, the
go.
judge.
It wouldn't go over. It wouldn't go over good. We know that, but City, that is not the case. This man is spending 40 years in his jail. In jail, there's nothing that Ashton Kutcher and the other young lady could say to reduce that time. That's not going to happen. So they're just writing a letter of clemency or just leniency. Hey, listen, give this guy a break. The judge is not going to do that. Obviously, they're not going to do that. He got what he deserved, and that was it. But I mean, I wouldn't give them such a hard time for writing a letter of leniency. People do it all the time. There's somebody in this country right now that's writing a letter to a judge before sentencing of a loved one asking for leniency. It's normal. See?
Yes, I understand that, but also they're not They're not celebrities. Okay. They're writing it for little Ray Ray they known since they grew up. They're not on a public platform. So, it just didn't make sense to me. But whatever. Good thing Danny Masterson is going away. You're a piece of trash.
Good
Moving
morning. Good
on.
morning. Good morning to everyone in the chat room. We truly appreciate you guys listening to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team and watching on all social media platforms. Thank you. And go Jets. Go ahead, Senny.
Yeah, well, I guess speaking of your Jets, did they play this weekend? Everybody was definitely talking about, Super Bowl, not Super Bowl. It was football Sunday yesterday. I guess it was that the official start of the season
Yes.
was yesterday. And um most notably is this Giants and Dallas Cowboys game where the Giants lost uh 40-0 by the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody was notably upset about that. It's one game. Giants coach Brian DeBall said it wasn't a good game. I won't sugarcoat it. We've got a lot to learn from, a lot to work on. Sunday night, the Giants didn't belong on the same field as the Cowboys. They didn't belong in the same area code. The Cowboys were 201, the Giants 732. What? That's how far removed they seemed from the Cowboys. The final was 40-0. In truth, it could have been anything. The infidels from Dallas wanted it to be. It was that bad. It was brutal. Oh, I'm sorry. I think this is a opinion article that I have this story. But they were just talking about the loss and how everybody felt about it, and saying that the coach shouldn't have been so, they said it should have been more serious than saying it's just one game. But do you think it sets the tone, I guess, for the rest of the season? And I don't think so. Of course it doesn't. I don't know the other games that were played. I know a lot of people, there was a lot going on.
Uh, First of all,
First of all, hey, Coop.
hey, Cooper, shut the fuck.
That's what you want to do.
That's what I want to say, but I can't because if I say that, then everybody's gonna get mad. I just that to a dog. Hold on a second. Now, I want to say this.
I don't know how it got on this opinion article.
I want to say this.
Oh, here it
New
is.
York Giants fans, I want you to keep that same energy, okay? You stay your punk asses over there because the Jets are playing tonight. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. The Giants, you are look forward to a horrific season. You let the Dallas Cowboys, who to me is a horrible franchise and a horrible team, but boy, I'm going to give you credit for your victory yesterday, and to all the Dallas Cowboy fans who I can't stand. I'm a Dallas Cowboy hater, even though I'm not even in your conference.
There was a lot
You
going
came
on.
to the Meadowlands and you whipped some ass. Giants fans, you are and the Giants. It was a disgraceful performance. You should be ashamed of yourself. I fell asleep on the game. They were winning 26-0. I didn't even know that the score was 40-0. You are a terrible team, but Giant fans, you stick with your boys. You ride the whole season. This is going to be a horrific football season for you. So I'm glad that the Giants got their asses whooped because I'm not a Giants fan. Now my man Jay Buttons in the chat room says he's a Jet fan. Are you a Jet fan, bro? Or are you just saying that? Because if the Giants are having a terrible year and the Jets are are winning, I want you Giants fans to stay over there because I'm a Jet fan. I'm not a Giant fan. I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm none of those teams. Now, speaking of that, uh, the Green Bay Packers, they won yesterday 38-20 against the Chicago Bears. So this is the first game without Aaron Rodgers because now Aaron Rodgers is with the New York Jets. So that was a good win. They went down to Chicago and won. The Miami Dolphins played a great game and they beat the Los Angeles Chargers 36-34. That was a good look for them going to San Diego and winning the game on the road. The Los Angeles Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 19-30-19. The Philadelphia Eagles, that's where we live out here, is nothing but Eagle fans. A lot of
Yeah.
Eagle fans out here.
There's a
They
lot.
barely won the game yesterday over the New England Patriots 25-20. Uh, Let me tell you something. I don't know if the Eagles is going to coach right back to the Super Bowl. And remember, their quarterback is worth $1 billion. And since he fumbled the ball towards the end of the game, that could have caused them to lose the game. If the Patriots was a better team, the Eagles would have lost that game. But shout out to the Eagles. You got away with a close win. The
Oh
Raiders
yeah,
beat
who is that guy? Jalen Hurts, right?
Jalen Hurts, the $16 billion man. He almost caused them to lose the game last night. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the Denver Broncos 17-6, 17-16. The uh, the the New Orleans Saints beat the Titans 16-15. And Senny, uh, shout out to our beloved Prentice Cox No Pause, who has Prentice XOC in the chat rooms. Prentice, what's the XOC all about, my friend? We all know that Prentice Cox No Pause is a big 49er fan. The 49ers came to Pittsburgh on the other side of the state here and thoroughly whooped their asses 30-7. Uh, the Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21. The Washington Commanders, who's now partially owned by Magic Johnson, they beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-30. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Panthers of Carolina 24-20. The Buccaneers beat the, the, the Vikings 20-17, and so on and so forth. But let me tell you this right now
What are you
before
telling
we
me?
move on. My New York Jets play tonight. I got my whole green. I'm gonna paint my face green tonight.
Oh my
I
god.
already got one of my Jets hats on. This is the day
Who
hat.
are they playing?
They're playing the Buffalo Bills. Hold on. This is the day hat. I'm gonna put my other hat on for tonight. I'm gonna paint my face green. I'm gonna put on my Jet shirt with my Jet socks.
Oh my gosh.
I want everybody out the room. I just need the room to myself. I'm gonna have the lights out, TV's Windexed. The New York Jets will play the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills will get punched in the face. We're gonna F them up tonight. We're
Go
gonna gang,
Jets.
we're gonna gang bang the Buffalo Bills with our score. Pause. The new era, the Jets will, and I say this right now, the Jets will make the playoffs tonight. Here's my prediction with the score. The Jets 31, Buffalo 17. We are going to whoop their asses, and we are taking no prisoners. And guess who's playing in the game tonight, City J?
Ooh.
Damar Hamlin is playing his first NFL game. Remember when he fell out, had the heart
Oh
attack?
my. See, this is what I'm talking about. Sit
Yo,
your ass down. I hope they keep him out most of the game because we don't need
Damar
any
Hamlin,
theatrics tomorrow night.
Damar Hamlin, I know you're
Right.
our hero, but get out the way, young man. Get out the way. We got a big offensive line, and we're going to strike you down, bro.
But you didn't watch any of the preseason, right? Or
I
that doesn't
sure
matter.
did. I watched a few preseasons, and then I watched the Hard Knock Life on HBO. They premiered the Jets for 4 weeks. 31-17 New York Jets tonight on the road to the Super Bowl. Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills fans, we're punching you in the freaking mouth tonight. Getting
Wow.
your ass quick. Damar Hamlin, sit on the sideline, young man. You don't want no parts of this big offensive line that's going to control the line of scrimmage today in Buffalo.
Okay.
31-17 New York Jets. I'm going to put my green paint on at about 7:30.
What's 31-17?
That's my score.
Oh, 30. Okay. Wow. That's really
Buffalo,
intense.
Buffalo Bills fans, this is your boy Harvey. I'm going to tell you right now, kiss my natural black ass. Pause.
Wow.
You're getting smacked in the mouth today. Aaron Hall, we got the top defense in the NFL right now. Princess Cox, no pause, and all the rest of these people with these other teams. Princess, if we play the 49ers this year or in the playoffs, we're smacking you in the mouth too. We have the number one ranked defense. We got the rookie of the year. We got the top defensive cornerback in football. We have the best defensive line. None of our peoples are hurt. We have the Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. We just picked up the running back that used to run with the Vikings. Forgot this guy's name.
I don't know his name. If you're looking for,
Don't
if you're
get me
looking for
started.
something.
All my Jet fans, stand the F up.
Wow.
Put your game face on. Look, this is my New York Jet game face.
Wow.
Go Jet.
I guess Tanya has something. I guess she's gonna be really alone tonight when she comes home.
One, two, three, four,
But
five.
she likes football too, though, right?
Yeah, she's an Eagles fan, big time.
Oh, okay.
All
So,
right, Cindy, what else you got?
that's gonna be. Oh no, they're playing the Buffalo Bills. Okay,
And you know what? This year, the Jets play the Eagles this year.
they do.
Hmm.
Wow.
She has to leave the crib. She got to go. She's got to go.
No,
Can't sit.
you guys should go to the game together and sit on opposite sides.
I'm not going to know that woman that day. Stayed away from me. Get tackled. What else you got, Cindy?
Switching it over a little to some front page news. There was.
Si- uh, Princess Cox, no pause, Blackheart. If the Jets play the 49ers, and remember, Cindy J, we have the 49ers ex-coach, ex-defensive coach, is the coach of the New York Jets. So, Princess, don't play yourself, bro. We already know your system and your schemes.
Mm-mm.
We already know that. So we will come to San Francisco if we need to play you guys in the playoff or Super Bowl, and we're gonna smack you in the mouth too. Go ahead, Cindy.
Wow. Well, thank you for that, Harvey's House of Sports. Taking it down. Nothing going on. Is that the only game tonight for football, or there's other ones?
It's the only game that need to be played. It's the only game that need to be played.
Well, Sean, I've been grandfathered into the Jets, so I'm rooting for them too.
Mm.
Um, rescuers are racing against the clock to find survivors over 48 hours after a Moroccan earthquake. They raced against time today to find survivors in the rubble more than 48 hours after Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades, with more than 2,100 people killed in a disaster that devastated villages in the high Atlas Mountains. Search teams from Spain and Britain are joining efforts to find survivors of the 6.8 magnitude quake that struck late on Friday night, 45 miles southwest of Marrakesh. Many survivors spent a third of the night outside, their homes destroyed or rendered unsafe by Morocco's most powerful earthquake since the 1900s. The death toll climbed to 2,100, with 2,400 people injured. In the village in one village, it's described by someone how their 8-year-old son died under the rubble after he had gone to fetch a knife from the kitchen as the family were having their evening meal. The rest of the family have survived. People have been salvaging possessions from the ruins of their homes and describing desperate scenes as they dug with their bare hands to find loved ones. Um, so, and also there's like buildings from like their old cities, like older buildings that have been demolished. So it's just a really tough scene over there. Spain said it received an official request for aid from Morocco on Sunday. France, among the countries offering assistance, said it was ready to help as well. Um, so neighboring countries are helping. We haven't seen anything yet. I guess, from the US regarding sending aid or helping or anything. So I'll keep you updated on that. So, so sad for the people over there.
But, but it's a motivational Monday for real. What country is this in again?
This is in Morocco.
Morocco, boy. That's unbelievable, man. Our condolences go out to folks out there. And imagine an earthquake is killing 2,000 people and they still can't find folks. And I've never been involved in an earthquake, but can imagine how scary that could be when the earth is moving like that. And it swallows up everything in your path. And it's just
We
nothing that you can do about it.
we had a mild earthquake
When
in Pennsylvania.
when was it?
And this had to be like early 2000s. And I remember that we got a warning for it, and everybody was like, okay, you know what I mean? And I was laying down, and I had like books that were on a shelf, and they all fell, but I didn't really feel anything. And and I had people that called me and they were like, "Did you feel that?" And I was like, "I didn't feel it, but my books that were on my shelf all fell like out of nowhere." So like I got scared. I thought it was like, you know. So we did have an earthquake up here, but
Wow.
I don't know if anybody felt it.
Put a number one chat room if you experienced the earthquake before. Uh, let us know.
I'm I'm gonna look it up because it did happen. I'm surprised you don't remember hearing about that.
I don't remember that. Put no chat room if you ever experienced an earthquake. I mean, I experienced an earthquake back in the day. You know that but the land wasn't moving. It was a different type of an earthquake. Go ahead, Senny.
That doesn't even make any sense,
I
Sean. You
also I also experienced many tsunamis back in the day. Many tsunamis. Trust me.
um, MTA
Let's
workers were,
put a number one chat room if you experienced many tsunamis back in the day. And ladies, uh,
yeah, please let us
please
know
let us
that.
know. I experienced many tsunamis back in the day. Uh,
Sean, it's too early. It's too early for that. Um,
Cindy, when the last time you experienced a really nice earthquake, Cindy?
it's been a while. It's been a while. Thank you. Yes, the next story that I have for you guys is in New York City, MTA workers were caught buying possible stolen goods after being accused of drinking on the job. LaShawn Hayes Jones, do you know and have any insider information on this? Please let us know. The MTA caught two employees buying unknown merchandise believed to be stolen goods from shady individuals after a member of the public reported them for allegedly drinking on the job. The MTA Inspector General's office said it launched a probe last year into the Midtown West based workers. A man, a woman filing the complaint accused them of boozing and buying contraband during their shifts. The supervisor was even spotted threatening one of the visitors by holding a knife to their neck. Inspectors confronted the workers a week later. The employees tried to deny the accusations until they were told they had been watched, prompting them to confess to these activities. The supervisor, who had been with the MTA since 1999, also took out uh, a liter bottle of Dewar's white label blended Scotch whiskey from his work locker and handed it to the investigator, saying he drank inside the trailer when his shift ended at 3. The agency brought disciplinary proceedings against both the workers. Um, so yeah, the pair had been working on a project to replace the and repair subway grates along 8th Avenue. The woman was working as a carpenter on the project. So I guess they were trying to do some type of work, and it was reported that they were taking items out of a plastic bag and placing them different places along the tracks that they were working. So disciplinary action is gonna. So it seemed like when these people made a report, it unfolded into all this other extra stuff that they were doing. You guys just do what you're supposed to do at your job. You know,
What?
New York has a lot of stuff going on, and the last thing it needs is the MTA drinking on the job and taking possible contraband and hiding it around the subway system
What's the name of these folks?
for later use.
Did, right. Did they name the criminals?
Like, do they know who they are?
Yeah. And the reason why I asked is these are
They,
black folks, like, because MTA workers, a majority, especially the working folks,
they're not
are
saying their names.
there was, I would say, Cindy, would you say it would be safe to say that there's about 75% of the MTA workers are like minorities and African Americans? Would it be safe to say that?
Mm, yes, it
At
would
least
be
half.
safe.
But let's say 50%, at least half of them, right, CJ?
Yeah, I think all of the MTA people that I've met have been black.
Right.
So,
All of them. The guys, the people who sweep the subways, the conductors, the motormen,
right.
the toll collector people. These are all basically our cousins. And I'm not throwing race into it, but what I'm saying is this: a lot, and there's a small percentage of them that are just criminals. They passed the test and they got the job. So instead of being grateful for having this job with the MTA, they start acting up, and they feel this power. There's a power that, I guess, when you put this uniform on and you feel that you're above everyone else, you don't have to listen to nobody. If you want to steal, you can steal. And this is the type of mentality that some of these people have. Even though our beloved LaShawn Hayes Jones works for the MTA, she's we're not going to include her in that. But you have some thugs. You have some thugs. You have some reckless people that work for the MTA. How many times have we shared stories about the MTA and in criminal activities? We share these stories all the time. And if you work for the MTA and you're doing something that you're not supposed to, you know that all this uh, illegal activities going on around you, you don't even have enough sense to stop doing what you're doing, and you still get caught in illegal activity anyway. And we ain't even going to talk about all the love affairs that goes on in the MTA. MTA workers, you should be ashamed of yourself. There's a small majority of you who are just reckless. You're stealing contraband. You're pointing knives at people. You're just doing way too much. Only thing we ask you to do is clean the freaking subway. But you lose your
Ah,
mind. You got these health benefits and you got this pension, and you think this is it. Like you hit the freaking lotto. You didn't hit nothing.
I know. It's like
That,
they're in.
that paper's light, bro. Let's knock it off, okay? Let's knock it off.
They get
You are
that
one of the
MTA job.
you are one of the chosen few, my friend. It's like if you MTA worker, like you freaking made it out of the hood. And I'm not talking about the good MTA workers that are responsible, like I said, like the Shawn Hayes Joneses of the world. I'm talking about you thugs that shouldn't even be working there. They should fire all you guys. You're an embarrassment to your family, to the company. MTA workers, you always come into the club with the stupid uniform on in the bars because everybody got to know that you're working for the MTA. Knock it off. I was working for the MTA. I wouldn't even wear that uniform. When the work's over, I'll take that uniform off. I probably wouldn't tell nobody I work for the MTA. It's a terrible organization right now.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on in there.
There's too much going on there. I mean, come on.
What they said in the chat room, no different than corrections. That's what. Shout out to Marita Simmons. She's
She's absolutely right. And you know how I feel about that organization. It's reckless. Correction officers are legal thugs. That's all they are. Legal thugs. Because they pick up the jail mentality in jail because obviously they're there.
I mean, it's police too. I mean, I feel like anybody that I don't know, maybe it's the uniform, but usually people in authority, people in positions of power abuse it because that's just human nature.
That's
So,
why you shouldn't date anyone that has that type of power because they don't know how to turn it off. They don't know how to turn it off when they're home. They can't turn it off when they're at work. They can't turn it off in the general public.
Even supervisors, like anytime you give somebody a title above other people, it goes to their head. And of
Yeah,
course, not everybody or whatever, but
yeah.
majority of people, yes. And that is so sad
Yeah, it's
that
terrible. Like, you
that
could
it
be,
happened.
I say this respectably, you could be the supervisor of a Dollar Tree and you lose your mind. You don't know how
I
to
don't know.
super.
I feel like even the people that make the schedule at the job,
Yeah,
whoever that person is.
it's just it's it's a whole lot of ego.
Oh
Just
gosh.
do your job gracefully. You don't all that extra power tripping. You don't need none of that. And that's the problem with these people. You're right. It's the uniform, it's the power, and then it's the lack of discipline. And it's your ego that allows you to make these terrible decisions. And then when you get fired, now you can't get another job like that again because you're stupid. So correction officer, and we're talking about a small majority, we're not talking about the whole organizations
Oh
with the
no.
MTA. There's great MTA. I'm talking about the 5% that are knuckleheads. And I'm talking about the 75% of correction officers who are knuckleheads. Um,
And truck drivers. Throw
who?
them in there.
Who?
Throw them in there too, truck drivers.
And truck drivers. It's
They
these
always
people.
feel like, how are you going to get your stuff unless we drive it there? Blah, blah, blah. Like, be quiet. Simmer down now with your CDL license.
Yeah, calm down and I sympathize with people who are in relationships with correction officers if the partner is not a correction officer. I could see two correction officers, two MTA workers. I could see them dating each other because there's a common bond there. They can identify with each other. But for people who are dating these folks and not in the profession, I actually feel sorry for you because
Yeah.
you got to come home every day to the nonsense, to a tent hut and all this militant psychology, and it's just terrible.
I know.
What else
Well,
you got before we leave?
shout out to the MTA. The last thing I have for you guys is on this Motivational Monday,
And
especially
how
people
much
who
money
like,
do you guys at home? How much money do you guys make over there? What's the average? What are you guys making? $100,000 over there?
I think it depends on what you do as in the MTA.
Like, I mean, you got a great salary. I'm for sure all of them make at least $100,000 a year, CJ. The mopper guy, the conductor, all these people. City, they got to be making $100,000 a year, all of them. So make your money, and shut the f up and go home.
None of this side buying contraband and drinking on the job. I don't know why that is just funny to
D'Lo
me.
says, Sean, that's not true. It is true. It is true.
Oh wait, didn't D'Lo used to be a corrections officer? Didn't you, D'Lo? Not me putting
It
him
is
through the job
true.
history.
I've been around these correction officers a lot.
We're not talking about you, D'Lo. We're talking about your former
Talk
coworker.
about your co-workers, and you know damn well that, of course, there are some good correction officers. I'm not saying that, but half of them are terrible. I'm not saying you, D'Lo, but you know what it is. Let's be honest. Maybe you're still down. Maybe you're a shop steward at the job still. I don't know. You're a retired shop steward, representative of Local 347 for life. Okay, I get it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I get it, D-Lo. I understand that. And I
Leave her
respect
alone.
and I respect your service. I'm not saying that. But you can't sit here and tell me, D-Lo, that there's no knuckleheads at the job. You cannot tell me that. I've seen corrections officers at parties drinking, having sex with each other, talking mess.
Sean, stop. Okay.
And this is the women. And I even get to the men yet.
Not as the women.
I didn't even get to what the men are doing in there. So let's knock it off.
I'm weak.
And
No,
let's
she.
clap for D-Lo. Let's clap for D-Lo and her 20 years of service. Come on.
Yes, D'Lo, amazing. D'Lo, it's like you
You're
spent
not
20
gonna sit
years
there
in
and
jail,
tell me.
girl.
You're not gonna sit there and tell me that there is a institutionalized mental disorder with people who work in corrections for 20 to 30 years. You're not gonna tell me that. It's scary.
All right.
Continue. That's why when a correction
She
officer,
said easy on her coworkers.
that's why when correction officers and MTA workers and police officers get pulled over by other police officers for speeding or whatever they're doing, they always got to fight with them. Because how dare you pull me over? Because they feel entitled. Okay, continue.
I think something happened with Shawn and a corrections officer back in the day. You all right?
I dated one correction officer for 3 minutes.
There it is.
Terrible experience. Terrible. This bitch thought she was a rock star.
Wow.
And then
Sounds
I work around corrections officers via comedy. I know how they get down. I see your
perfect.
partying. I know what it is.
Okay, Shawn.
I'm trying to tell them that, but they think I'm joking.
Um, People that are in Pennsylvania, lock your doors, hide your kids. Danilo Cavalcante, the escaped convict that shimmied his way up out of there, is still on the loose. There are reports that Cavalcante, who made his escape on August 31st, and the matter went down just days after he was sentenced to life in prison for killing his ex-girlfriend in front of her two kids. Additionally, they're noting that Cavalcante is wanted for a 2017 murder that went down in Brazil. He is a killer. Authorities released footage of the escape, and he pulled off the feat by scaling a wall in the exercise yard and pushing through barbed wire before fleeing through a less supervised portion of the prison. Danilo was reportedly last spotted in Pennsbury Township on Tuesday, September 5th, which is about 34 miles west of Philadelphia, and authorities are urging locals to stay alert and exercise caution. Word of the Danilo Cavalcante situation spread, people began to chime in on social media. One user humorously declared they should not have released this video. Hella inmates about to turn into Spider-Man. Um, Somebody else said, point of view, me sneaking out the function when my social meter runs out of life. Um, and then other people were pushing back against people congratulating him on escaping, saying he stabbed a woman to death in front of her two children, and y'all congratulating him on escaping. When he shows up on your doorstep, we don't want to hear it because he deserves his freedom, right? Everything from the weather to the type of terrain to the clothing the individual has, a lot of things can come into play as to how well the dogs can stay on the scent and follow through some difficult terrain. And this is coming from the Pennsylvania State Police, stating that authorities are having a tough time tracking him down on the account of the humidity, woodland terrain, not knowing exactly where he is as they're getting different reports of his whereabouts. There's currently a now $20,000 reward for information leading to his capture. They're also adding that the correctional officer operating the guard tower during the escape has been placed on administrative leave. They're also noting that another inmate named Igor Bolt escaped from the same prison through similar means earlier this year. However, he was captured within a few minutes. But the fact that they knew that they had that instability in that part of the prison, they should have been heavily guarded. But I guess they put that all on Homeboy in the Tower.
Uh, hey guys, if you don't mind on Motivational Monday, let's see the hearts in the chat room. Where the hearts at in the chat room? Hey, where the hearts at in the chat room? Hey, turn down for what? We appreciate you, the Shawn Harvey Morning Show, preaching wake up team with the Queen Senny J, also the Queen Miss Miko. Thank you so much. Like and share the Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the wake up team on all media. You know we love you guys to death. and thank you so much. I want to see the hearts in the chat room. I have so much love for you guys and so much respect. And also, I'm speaking for the Queen, Senny J. Now, uh, difficult terrain. Where are we in Siberia? Where are we in the Galapagos Islands? Where are we? We in the jungles with Tarzan and all of them? Where are we? We in Central Africa? We in the Congos? Huh? Are we in some kind of Brazilian rainforest?
Where?
Difficult terrain. We're in Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania. We're only 25 miles from Pennsylvania. How difficult can the terrain be, sir?
Well, listen, we have wooded area here, Shawn.
I don't care. I don't care. This is not the Ukraine and the Yukon, and I'm not talking about the car. This is not northern Canada. This is not northern Japan, where there is remote areas where people can't get to. This is 20 miles outside of Philadelphia. So now you're using the terrain, a difficult terrain, and then you heard what Cindy said in the report. It's very humid outside. Now the weather has everything to do with this. This man, since he's been out, has got a haircut, new clothing. When he escaped, he didn't even have a t-shirt on. They see him in a ring camera now. He got on a jacket, a hoodie, a baseball cap, and some sneakers and some jeans.
Now he got supplies.
And then he runs around and then he steals a car. But then the only thing you can do is put the watchtower guy on notice or suspension. Everybody should be fired for this. I'm firing everybody. First of all, every administrator at that jail has to go. You're done. You're finished. Get out. Leave right now. You firing the guards? Okay, you can fire some of them. I want the administrators out of there. This is a man who brutally murdered his baby mom in front of the kids. And you blaming it on difficult terrain? What you doing? This a money grab? This a money grab, state troopers? You know what I'm saying? You getting that overtime, baby. You getting that paper. Because half of you, when you confront this dude, I wouldn't say maybe one or two of you state troopers that's gonna run anyway, you're scared. That's why I said gang of you out there, and that makes sense. But everyone across the board has done a terrible job at trying to apprehend this young man who has no resources at all. He has a car now.
He has the will to survive.
Right. He has the will. Thank you, Cindy. He has the will to survive, and you guys are looking like idiots. She's right. Lock your door. Because he's coming to a town near you, bro.
I think he's past us. You think he's still in Pennsylvania?
This guy is in Minnesota right now.
I hope so I can stop.
He's going to walk through the Canadian border and live his life. And that's terrible. You can't catch this guy. It's almost been 2 weeks.
You think he's going to go to Canada?
Where is this guy? And you know what? And for people to sit there and applaud that he escaped, what is wrong with you? Cindy's right. In the article, let him come to your house. He might rape your dog and steal your food and take the babies. Because he's a desperate man, but he seems to be 2 to 3 steps ahead of you guys.
Well, because he's squirrely, like he's.
You see, he like this. He got Batman music playing behind him.
Like, to think about it, like to be in the mind of him right now, right? He's obviously athletic. He's scaling walls. He looks average as hell. He's moving by himself. Like, you can't, he probably has all types of adrenaline running through his body all the time. I mean, you don't know where he's gonna go or what he's gonna do because you don't have like anything like on him. So I think that's why it makes it so hard. It's so unpredictable. You know what this story reminds me of? It reminds me of, remember that guy and the jail woman when they were on the run, and then
Yes.
she killed herself,
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
and they were gone for like a while. Like, I feel like this story is gonna have some weird, crazy plot twists like that. I
And
don't
you
know.
know, and what do we know? That's obvious. He's trying to get away. He
But
kills his
where? But
girlfriend.
where are you going?
It doesn't matter where you going. Where has he been? He's been all over the place and no one's finding him. What do you mean? Where's he going? He's going. He's going. He's going somewhere because we can't find him.
Oh wow.
State troopers in Pennsylvania, you're doing a horrible job. You blaming the terrain and the weather? That's what we're doing. If I was the family of the victims, I'm suing everybody. Is there can they even do that? I'm suing the state of Pennsylvania. I'm suing the correction facility. I'm suing the state troopers. I'm suing the small towns. Everybody catching this smoke.
You
Imagine
so
what the family and what the family might be scared. These kids might be scared. He might try to go after the kids.
no, he's not
But
going
I'm
to.
just saying, how put yourself
But yeah,
in their position. They're
yeah.
probably scared as hell.
Yeah. Where's his mom at? Oh, he hasn't. You said they had asked her to make a recording, but he's not even in Pennsylvania. I mean, this is above the Pennsylvania State Police now. This should
See,
be a national APB, everybody for the tri-state area at this point.
listen, let me tell you something. He's smart too. He ain't communicate with none of his friends, his mom, because you know they all waiting for him to call his mother. He ain't doing none of that. He out there in these streets. He's probably a DoorDash delivery dude at this point. and
Oh,
he
bad.
and if he gets to New York City, it's a wrap.
That's where he's going.
If he comes to New York City and blend in with the migrants, over. Oh, not only would he blend in, he gonna get some health care. He gonna get 3 meals a day, be in a shelter, build, and all of this is the the state of Pennsylvania is liable for this. You can't catch this guy for get the difficult terrain. Yo,
So
he
I just
shouldn't say that. Difficult terrain.
well,
Lock your doors.
it's been raining a lot. He should have just kept it real and just been like, "Yo, we're not even trying because he's not here anymore." Sorry.
Yo, right, right. They should have, yo, listen, we fucked up. We we don't have no more money. We done
It's above us now.
we ran out of money. Cause these state troopers is getting that overtime crazy.
Tell him to call Joe Biden.
No, you're gonna have to call Tom Cruise and all of them. This is a Mission Impossible situation.
Um,
And he seems to be really moving around in the area where they say they think they know he is. Now I don't know if they think that he's even in the area, but they won't admit it. If he left the area, it's a wrap. He could be in like Texas right now.
no, he's not going south. He's probably going. Well, maybe he could either. I mean, New York is good, or he could be thinking Mexico. So you might be right, but you're not. You're not gonna get far. You're not gonna get far because you have to think. You're gonna have to stop for gas. Where are you getting money? Do you have a phone? Like, come on. You don't know your directions.
Senny,
Huh?
imagine being him right now. You're like,
Sean, stop, please, because I cannot take it. Because it's not funny. It's serious.
is it? I don't think the state of Pennsylvania is taking this serious. They wouldn't have him. He would still be in jail if the state of Pennsylvania thought this was serious. That's what I'm saying. Everybody has to get fired. You can't. This is the second person who escaped. The guy name was Igor. Igor escaped for 30 seconds.
Banana said, "Who's feeding him?" Probably a woman. I bet you, if anybody's helping him, it's a woman
That's
because
right.
we just can't help our freaking selves.
That's right. He walked by. Hey, what's your name, honey? What's going on?
Oh, nothing. You want to come over here, stay at my house,
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
on the
can
run.
call me later?
What's your name? On the run. The
That's
state of
all he knows.
Pennsylvania again, and then we're gonna get out of here. The state of Pennsylvania, you're doing a horrible job.
Yeah,
State
they better.
troopers, investigators, whatever police organizations that's involved in this, you're doing a terrible job. I'm giving you out of 1 out of 5 stars, you get one no stars.
Wow.
You get a negative. I will give you a negative review on Yelp.
Wow.
I feel so bad for the family, the 2 little kids and their family who's probably terrified right now. And on the low, his moms want to talk to him. And his moms don't want to say, like, give yourself up. His mom's trying to give him some money so he can keep it pushing. And this is a terrible job for the state of Pennsylvania. And my doors are locked. Everything is locked over here. Senny, lock your
Sean,
door.
please. There's no reason to come. If he did come by here, he drove right past it.
This guy is driving now. He's sitting. He stole a car. He's driving.
Well, he better get another car because they
And
probably know
that's
which
what.
car he
But
stole.
see, that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna get another car.
Yeah.
He's gonna rob somebody, or I hope he don't kill anybody. He's gonna get him some money, and he's gonna get out of town. He's desperate. But as more time go by, he becomes more confident. He really think he could do this.
Yeah. No, they're gonna catch him soon. They're gonna catch him soon.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna do before we leave. We're gonna put some odds up. Uh, Cindy, do you think he'll be caught in the next week? And I'm going to give you
So wait, what day is that? Let me see. Let me look on my
next
calendar.
Monday. Next Monday. Next Monday. Everybody, we're going to, before we get out of here, we play some wagers. I say,
Yeah,
I
by next Monday. No, maybe he doesn't make. I want to say he doesn't make it to the weekend. So I want to say by Friday.
no, let's make the marker next Monday. So will he be caught by next Monday? Yes or no?
Yes, he'll be caught by
Okay,
Monday.
my Monday. Okay, that's yes for Cindy. I'm going to say he's not going to be caught by next Monday.
He's not. You have faith in the young man.
Chat room, before we leave, what's your thoughts? Well, this man, what's his name again, Cindy?
Danilo Cavalcante.
Danilo Cavalcante, a.k.a. the Running Man. Put your thoughts in the chat room now before we leave. Cindy says, yes, he'll be caught by next Monday. I say no.
D'Lo says no. Natalie Wright says no. LaShawn Haynes Jones. Wait. LaShawn Haynes Jones said they'll catch him in another state by Friday. That's what I said, LaShawn. So wait, are we no then? No, we're
No,
yes.
that means yes. That means he'll be caught by Monday.
Okay, yes. LaShawn is yes.
So D'Lo says no. Natalie Wright says no. Shawn Harvey says no, that he'll still be on the run by next Monday.
Yeah,
But
Prentice
Shawn
Cox,
Haynes Jones and
Renetta,
Cindy,
Sister Soldier, all
say
of
what
them are saying no. Me and LaShawn Haynes Jones are the only ones that believe he'll be caught by the weekend. Not Wendy coming in. She said he gonna be caught in October.
Okay, so guys, we let's see how this works out. Uh, Senny, maybe we could give away a gift or a prize. No, I know we can't give away nothing like that because if he's not caught, that's not cool. Uh, Imagine we give away $100 and people like, where my money at? They still ain't catch him. They still ain't catch him. You know how black folks are. I want my money. He's still on the run. It's Monday. I don't give a fuck about Motivational Monday. Cash at me. So we ain't giving out no money for that.
Oh goodness.
All right, Cindy, let's do it. You got the last word. What's going on?
Oh, damn it. I was gonna we like low key weren't gonna do the show today, so I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, then that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, guys,
Wait,
you didn't even know.
I can make one up. Okay. I'm
All right, go ahead.
creative.
But guys,
Okay.
Cindy's right. We wasn't gonna do the show today. We just popped in, man, for real.
Okay. Even though the road may seem long, just run.
That would be words for what's the name again? What's the guy's name? Danilo? What's Danilo? What's his name? Danilo? Go ahead, go ahead, talk to him. Go ahead, Cindy. Go ahead, talk to him. Say that to him. Go ahead, Cindy. Danilo, Cindy J has a message for you, young man. Go ahead.
Even though the road may seem long, just run.
Just run, Danilo. Just run.
That wasn't for Danilo. I don't want to show support for the killer. This is for my chat room chatties. This is for you guys. This is for you. Okay.
You sure? You talk about this story and then your last words is just run. Hey, Danilo, brother, this is your Uncle Harvey.
Oh my God.
Turn your punk ass in, bro. It's enough is enough. All right. You won, bro. You have outwitted the state of Pennsylvania. You won, man. Like you really did. You won. Even though I'm betting that you won't get caught by next Monday. It's your uncle talking, bro. I know you probably poison ivy out there. Your big toe swollen. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably jerking off like crazy in there. You know, outside. You know, because you're outside now. You can do all that. Enough is enough, my friend.
I'm sorry, Prentice.
Hey, y'all, what he said? What the princess say?
He said thanks, I guess.
All right, guys. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Great way to end this show. Yo, Princess, you are hilarious.
You know what I mean.
And she's talking to Danilo anyway, bro. This had nothing to do with you. This has everything to do with Danilo. Okay? So that it was not about you, Princess. Could you say that one last word again, CJ, please?
Even though the road may seem long, just run.
Just run, bro. Run your ass back to prison. All right, Cindy, we out. Let's wave at these folks. We'll see you in a few days. God bless you guys, man. Enjoy your day, and we truly appreciate you. We are out of here.